everyone. It's Friday, March 13th, 2020. Welcome to episode 4 of the Ginger and the Beard podcast.
Yeah,
Hello, everyone. You know what? This is the best episode we've done so far. I can tell already.
I can too. This is so
the
much
one.
fun. Yeah. By the way, I'm the Beard. My name's Reese, aka the Beard.
The beard, the glorious beard. And I'm AJ, aka the Ginger. Oh boy. All right, everyone. So in this week's episode, we got tons of stuff to cover, exciting stuff. Starting with recap of UFC 248, and then moving into some tech news, my favorite stuff to talk about, video game chats, and lots of other fun stuff along the way. But first, Reese, how's it going, man? Haven't talked to you in like, I don't know, 5 days.
Yeah, man, I've been bunkered down. Just staying out of the way. Anybody come close to me, anybody trying to breathe in my direction, you know what? We're fighting. You breathe in my direction, we're fighting, bro. We're fighting.
Yeah, hit him with the stiff arm.
Yeah.
Get that out of here.
Not today, buddy. Not today. You're not breathing up my nose.
I fully adopted the elbow bump instead of the fist bump.
Yeah.
You know, we're out here just trying to protect ourselves, man.
Yeah.
Just trying to be safe.
Sometimes you just gotta, instead of shaking hands, maybe we're gonna be like shaking feet soon, you know?
I've seen this. This is a thing on the news. Kids are doing this.
Next time I see you, it's a foot shake.
Oh man.
Did you hear about what kids are calling the coronavirus today?
No.
It's the boomer remover.
Oh wow.
That's so
harsh.
bad. That's so bad.
Mean.
I know. I saw that too. I was like, no way, dude. Get out of here.
Mean. Kids are so mean.
Kids are mean. You're 100% right about that.
What age are you considered not a kid? Is it contextual?
I think it's like 12, maybe. Like after 12.
I was thinking like 18.
You think so?
I think you're a kid.
But they're like,
now that we're both almost 30.
You know what? This is it, right? Anybody that's younger than you can call a kid.
Fair enough. You want to know one of my biggest pet peeves? We're off on a tangent already, but you know what? One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone says, "Yeah, that kid gets on my nerves." I'm like, that kid's like 3 years older than you. Why are you calling him a kid?
Oh
like,
yeah,
that was like the most annoying. Like I don't know what do you call that sort of phrase? But oh my gosh, man, it used to drive me insane. Like, stop saying that.
Yeah,
it's like you think you're cooler than somebody, so you call him a kid. I don't get it.
I get it. It's like it's a little demeaning, but anyway. Are you drinking anything today?
So, oh man, this is how I troll the coronavirus, Reese. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
In honor of coronavirus, I went out and got myself a nice Corona 40.
Oh my god!
I haven't drank a Corona in I think I've drank maybe 2 Coronas my entire life.
No way! But, you bought a 40 of it?
Yeah, dude. Shit. I was just like, you know what? I didn't have any. I actually went to Wegmans I don't know, 3 days ago and built a 6-pack with tons of interesting beers. But I was like, you know what? I think this is the appropriate time. My office officially got closed down today. Or not closed down, but they basically told us, hey, starting next week, you guys can work from home, keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Today's the day. I should go pick up a Corona just for the podcast. You know what? And I don't hate it. It's not bad.
It's a good idea. I like Coronas. A little bit of lime in there. I don't know if you got any lime, but that just kind of makes life a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't have any limes. And that's also appropriate considering today was 80 degrees.
I know, right? That's
in March.
Insane.
It's ridiculous. What about you, sir? What are you drinking tonight?
So I got myself a little Firestone Nitro Merlin Milk Stout, and I'm just gonna go ahead and show this on screen, right? So when you pour these, you just pour it straight in there, just like this. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, delicious.
Oh my god. Now watch. I just have to show this. Do you guys see this? Oh my god. Look at that. Look at that.
Look at the bubblies.
Oh,
so many bubblies.
Oh yeah. But that's how you're supposed to.
It's like a Guinness.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love it. It's like yeah.
Is it all stuck in your stash? Your flavor saver?
My flavor saver? You know it, buddy. Saving it for later.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff, man. Where's that come from?
It's Firestone.
So Firestone, where are they located?
Good question. Wasn't prepared for that question.
Sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot there.
They're in California.
I've seen that. Okay.
Firestone Walker
I've definitely
Brewing.
Seen that. I've seen that in the
Yeah,
store.
I'm I,
Um,
dude, gotta try Firestone. Firestone,
yeah, I
they
feel
got
like
really good beer.
I posted on our Instagram channel on the podcast Instagram channel, which if you're not following, go check us out.
Yes.
Um, all the stuff that I picked up from Wegmans, and one of them was actually my favorite. Is a stout. It's a candied bacon stout from Wasserhun Brewery, which is here in Virginia Beach.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's smoky, but actually, the guy was sampling it one day at Wegmans when we went there, and he was like, "All this smoke flavor you taste is like it's all natural." He said that's 100% bacon that we put into the mash or whatever. Um,
That's
for that
insane.
flavor. Yeah, he was like, we have no additional smoke added to that. So it's amazing.
That's
And it's not usually I've told you guys before, I go and build my six packs from Wegmans instead of buying an entire six pack.
yeah.
And you usually can't find those because they're big, the big tall boys. You can't find those in the six pack builder aisle or whatever you call it. But this time they had a couple of them in the cooler, and I snagged those. Um,
Definitely. I
yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
I
so
want
good.
I need to go do that after Corona goes away. I'm gonna go build another six pack. I've done it before though. I did the 24 beers of Christmas that way. But I didn't go to
Yeah,
Wegmans. I went to Total Wine and did that and got like just I don't know. Some of them weren't really that exciting, but some of them were. So,
yeah.
you know what? Next year, dude, this Christmas, we should do 24 beers of Christmas together and buy like
Oh
the
man,
same, just get like the same 24 beers
I
and
think that's an
then
excellent idea.
do like a daily review of each one as we go.
I'm so in.
And like
I,
vlog it, you know?
yeah, can I be real with you for a second? This
Yeah.
when you said this Christmas, I Mariah Carey started playing in my head.
This Christmas, I gave you my heart.
The
I don't know.
very next day. Shayna makes fun of me. She's probably in the bedroom right now, like crying and
Laughing.
laughing at me and saying, "Please stop!
Please
You're
stop.
embarrassing yourself."
I don't know how to sing, so
I don't either.
all right. So
I don't
anyway,
either. Anyways, moving on from that.
so how about that fight, man? How about that fight last weekend?
Oh my gosh, our main topic for the week, UFC 248 recap. Uh, the Beard and I were hanging out IRL in real life. You guys came in and helped celebrate my wifey's 30th birthday, which was amazing.
Surprise,
Um,
surprise, motherfucker.
yeah, it was a great time. And you and I had the pleasure of going out to a bar and watching the fight, which was cool. I don't think we've done that together before.
No,
Um,
no, we hadn't.
and we always legally watch the fights, totally legally. But yeah, so it
No,
was a
no
great time.
comment. No comment.
It was a great time, man. So
I loved it.
I feel like we have so much to talk about. The entire card was amazing. It was a ton of fun to watch. But should we just skip to the co-main and then
Yeah,
the main event, or should we even start with the main event and then go to the co-main? How should we do this?
I feel like, yeah, like it'd probably be better just to talk about the main event because of like the kind of how lackluster it was. Right, the whole night, right? Just like you said, the whole night was like amazing. You know, there was chokes, there was knockouts, high caliber fighters, even on the prelims, right?
Right. Oh
Like,
man, yeah, it was some exciting stuff, dude.
if you're a fight fan and you didn't see UFC 248, I mean, I would go back and watch it like from the prelims on. You could probably skip the main event. But besides that, like, what an awesome night. We picked a great night to go out and watch the fights, dude.
Yeah, it really was. Sean O'Malley made a comeback after his suspension,
Yep.
which was super cool to see. And he came out. What is was a knockout in the second round or was it the first round?
I think it was the first round, dude. He came out like a beast. I can't wait to see that guy fight again. He's been suspended for 2 years because of some doping incident, and
Yeah,
he comes back stronger than ever, dude. It just makes me think
yeah,
he's probably just been, working his whole time.
yeah. He's
Uh,
one of those guys. It's just a few guys in the sport right now that are just extremely exciting to watch. Obviously, Sean O'Malley, Zabit's extremely exciting to watch, which he
Oh
hasn't had a
yeah.
fight in a while. And I'm excited to see his next one, but. And then obviously our man Israel Adesanya, Stylebender, one of
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite guys to watch, especially lately.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, I mean, you and I are both sitting there together across the table from one another, just like, what's happening? What is this fight right now?
It was so boring. It Like we were both sitting there like it's about to pop off now, right?
Yeah,
Like
any
this
minute,
round.
any minute now. Don't worry, don't worry. It's gonna be good. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was so hyped up. The whole fight was super hyped up, and you know what? It's honestly a really good thing that the co-main was as exciting as it was because I might have conked out on that table. I might have been asleep,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
We
yeah,
could
I
have we
mean, I
could have
think
left early.
we probably could have. We could just watch the highlights because there weren't many of them. It's probably a very short highlight reel.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, dude,
so
Yoel's got all that power, right? He's got like
yes,
all that skill, and he's just like stood there for the first 2 minutes. Literally,
yeah,
they come out the gate and he just stands there like this with his hands up, and he's like a statue. And like what's the strategy there?
I think honestly, I kind of expected him to kind of come out and bait Stylebender because I know he's obviously aware that he has that reach oh my gosh, reach disadvantage
Yeah.
by a large margin. So I kind of expected him to come out and bait him and like kind of wait for him to come in, but I was not expecting him to come out and stand completely still in the middle of the octagon. it
It
was
does
it was an odd strategy. I was just kind of like, what is happening at this moment? Um,
doesn't make sense.
but yeah, I expect a lot more action. To your point, Yoel has the power, so I was really expecting, him to try to get inside of his reach, just like Kelvin Gastelum did. Kelvin
Exactly.
Gastelum didn't wait around, and his reach disadvantage was probably far more severe than Yoel's. I don't know
Yeah.
the statistics off the top of my head, but just judging based on like looking at the two of those guys together, Yoel I think probably has a couple inches on Kelvin. Kelvin's a short dude, but he had zero fear, and he got straight up in there right away and started throwing bombs.
Yeah.
Um,
You would think that Yoel is more um athletic, of course, than Calvin, is more explosive than Calvin. He
you
might
would
not
think.
have the same boxing expertise, and that might be the issue, right? Is Calvin's got some great boxing. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I just feel like if he would have just tried to explode more and take more risks, then it would have been an actual fight. Cuz
Right.
I mean, I can understand from Israel's point of view, right? Like he's just trying to stay alive, you know? And he's the one that has the belt. If you're going to go into a fight and you're trying to take the belt from somebody, you're ranked lower than them. It's kind of you're incentivized to go out there and work harder. You have to
You
work
should.
harder. But
Absolutely.
by default, if two people go out and they work the same level, right? And the same amount of punches and everything's equal, the judges are going to go with the champion because
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Yeah,
You
you
got to
gotta go
beat
out there and
them.
prove yourself. You have to beat the champion. You can't just come out there and you're not gonna win it on numbers. I know that.
Yeah.
And even if that was the case, Yoel definitely did not win it on the numbers.
Well, he
Oh.
just didn't do anything. He landed one punch the first round. You
Yeah,
remember
I
that?
mean, he landed. Yeah, I think there was a couple big shots throughout the whole fight, but I mean, and if anything, Israel Stylebender has proved that he's got a chin. Just
Yeah.
look at that Kelvin fight; he's got a chin.
Yeah,
So
good point.
Yoel should have known walking in there that he's gonna have to do some serious damage to take him out.
Yep.
But yeah, that was kind of my thing too. I was like, after I had a day to digest it, I'm just like, I don't understand. I can't understand why Yoel didn't get up in there. He knows he's got the power. He knows Stylebender does not have the power. He
Right.
doesn't have the knockout power, so why is he afraid to get up in there? I mean, obviously, any strike could be the strike that takes you out of the game, but why didn't he get inside there? Why didn't he get him in the guard? Why didn't he try to take him down? Try to get him in the clinch or something, throw some uppercuts, some elbows. I don't understand. Didn't
He
show his wrestling at all.
well, he was saying during like the post-fight conference that like Israel just like running from him the whole time, but it's like I don't think he wasn't really running from him because like Yoel
No.
wasn't like really chasing him down, Like so
Yeah.
there wasn't
No.
really any running. It was just
Yeah. How,
Yoel wasn't like going forward to like do any. He wasn't attacking. So there. I just think that if he would have been attacking more, then we would have had a fight, and he would have had more success if he would
yeah.
have
He.
attacked the legs. He wasn't setting up his shots. He shot like 2 takedowns, right? He shot 2 takedowns, but didn't set them up at all. And
No.
and Adesanya just like rolled out of it. Like no, he wasn't afraid of the takedown at all, and he shouldn't have been.
No. No. Definitely not. Yeah, leg kicks is one thing, man. I think after they stood still and stared at each other for the first 3 minutes of the first round, uh, Adesanya started throwing those leg kicks. And if you watch those back, man, those are some serious leg kicks. Like you're
Oh yeah.
surprised his like MCL, ACL didn't get torn on some of those kicks. His knee like bent inside, like his leg was bent, not the way it should have been.
Any
But
normal person walking down the street, their leg would be broken because
oh
of
yeah,
those.
I mean, look at look at Yoel's legs, man. They're like freaking Hulk's legs or something. But
They are.
that dude's like a mini. He's like a mini Hulk. But
Oh man, he's a
yeah.
Ninja
I mean, I
Turtle.
guess it's so true. I guess
Yeah.
maybe the leg kicks scared him. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want any more of that. But I don't know. It was disappointing. It was so hyped up,
Hmm.
and I'm just sad to see that it went down that way. And we got into like rounds 3, round 4, and we're like, okay, now Yoel's gonna turn it on. He's gonna
Yep.
get aggressive. He's gonna chase him down. And back to that point, like, how can you run from somebody that's not chasing you? How can you run from somebody that's not being the aggressor?
Exactly.
So his post-fight interview, I was gonna ask you, like, what did you think of that? His post-fight interview where he's just talking about him running the entire time.
Dude, honestly, I just thought his post fight was it was distasteful. Some of the things that he said were just bad taste, and honestly, I just don't think that like his fight IQ was clearly not there. Was there something else going on? Was he just trying to make excuses, or it almost just seemed like he didn't understand? Like everyone else saw it, everyone else
Yeah.
saw the fight, and everybody was like, "Yeah, Yoel, you didn't do anything." And like the one guy was even asking him, "Well, are you gonna have any regrets after this?" And like there was no acknowledgement of that. So it's just like, is he, you know, just not being real with himself? Like I just feel like if he went back and watched the fight, if Yoel goes back and watches the fight, he's gonna be like, "Oh wow, I didn't do anything." Or if he
Right.
doesn't, that's a bigger problem. If he doesn't recognize that, I mean, the
I,
dude's 42. Is it time?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is like, I mean, what's next for him, man? I mean, I think he will look back and be like, you know what, I should have stepped up and I should have been more aggressive. I don't know if he'll ever get another title shot again. He's had what? That was his third shot at the title. The first two, I think he missed his weight.
They'll never. The second one, he missed his weight.
The
He
second
lost it
one, he misses it.
anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not
They'll
sure,
never
man.
do it. They'll never give him another one. There's no way.
Unless he goes on some like crazy tear. But at this point, he's 42, and 42 is not. I mean, 42 is not old,
Yeah,
but in the sport of UFC, not many dudes make it very long after 40.
dude. His
Uh,
his best bet is probably go to Bellator
yeah, that's true.
and fight for like 1 or 2 more years. See if he can get the belt there, and
That's
then
true.
just throw in the towel. Like I mean, he's 42. Like his body is as crazy as it is. Like the specimen that is Yoel Romero. Um, Eventually that body's gonna start giving in.
Yeah,
Ligaments are
yeah,
gonna start giving in. He's gonna get injured. It's bound to happen
right.
unless he's just
Um,
an alien.
it's what she could be an alien.
It's
That guy
possible.
he's a statue. He's like a walking statue.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
He's
and
a brick
for
wall.
Stylebender, I mean, what's next for him? I mean, there's a lot of smack talking happening after the fight with Paulo Costo,
Gotta be
uh,
Costa. Gotta be.
which another freaking freak of nature. Like that dude's a monster. I'm
But
not sure how
Paulo,
they even.
he's gonna come forward though. Paulo Costo, he's not gonna do what Yoel did. Do you remember the
Oh
Yoel
no!
Costo fight? Dude, Costa came forward. He didn't care about Yoel's
Oh,
power.
he's got no fear because that dude's got serious power himself, man. He'll knock you off your feet anytime. He's a
Exactly.
monster. Yeah, I like how they get like that's who they're alluding to giving Stylebender next. I'm like, how do you think Stylebender feels? He's like, all right, man, you guys keep giving me these freaking gorillas. Um,
He calls him out though. He wants it.
that's
He
true.
he
It's
called
true.
UL out. He said, "I'm gonna beat you." He's calling Costa out. He wants to fight Costa. It's
I,
gonna be
I love that he
Costa.
I love that he wants to fight. You know what I mean? Like he's got his belt. He's worked his way up. He's still undefeated, but he's still asking for fights, and he's not scared to do it, and not scared to defend his title.
Right.
He's not going to be one of those guys that has to give up the belt because he won't defend it. Um,
Yep.
so I'm excited. I'm excited to keep watching him, man. I think anytime he's going to be, I think he's probably on his way to becoming the next Connor in terms of popularity.
Oh yeah.
I
He's
think this last fight probably didn't do much in the way. for helping that out, just because he didn't get to show anything. He didn't get to show his elusiveness. He didn't get to show
No.
his skills really
But
the whole time.
he doesn't lose any skin in the game. Like he doesn't lose any credit, right? Because of this
No,
fight. It's just kind
yeah,
of like it's a bummer for everyone that, he didn't do, we didn't get to see the level of performance that we're used to. But,
right, right,
I don't disrespect him for that. I mean, Connor is still the star child, but I think you're right.
yeah,
It's going
he
to be
could.
Izzy. Izzy's going to be right up there with him.
Yeah, he absolutely could. Now, what do you think about a potential Johnny Bones Jones fight versus a Stylebender? Would it ever happen? Would
Man.
Stylebender move up? Would he fight up?
That's a tough. I feel like I really do feel like he would piece up Johnny Bones Jones. I think that
I do too.
in a stand-up match, seeing what Reyes did to him, I think
Hmm.
that Izzy would would be able to do some work to Johnny on the stand-up. But I don't think Izzy would be able to defend the takedown, honestly, against Jones. I think Jones is so much
He's so strong,
his
dude.
build, he's just his bone structure, everything about him is just clearly so much larger than Israel. So Israel would just have to, he would have to fight the from far away. But again, they're both 6'4". They have probably the same reach. I think Jones might have a longer reach. I'm not sure about that, but God, that's the fight, dude. That's the fight to
He
see.
just, yeah, I mean, John's just built so much bigger than naturally just bigger than Adesanya. But
Yep.
I think Israel's faster, and I feel like the last couple of fights we've watched with John, he's slow. I mean, we talked about this like a few weeks ago. He's just slowed down so much. I feel like, but also I feel like he's just gotten smarter. Like he's not out there trying to
Yeah.
prove himself. I feel like Israel's still got a chip on his shoulder, and he's trying to make sure people know who he is.
Yeah.
And John's got nothing to prove anymore. He's just out there doing his thing. But that would be such a good fight, man. That would bring in tons of money for UFC.
Do you think he's doing his thing, or do you think he's holding on? I almost feel like he's kind of just like holding on right now.
John,
Yeah.
he's still pretty young though, isn't it? I think he's like 33, maybe
But
34.
yeah, but like
Like,
I mean his age, I'm saying like he's holding on to the belt. Like that's why we don't see him going out. Like what he did against Reyes in the 4th and 5th round? Like why
yeah,
didn't he come out the gate with that kind of effort? Is it just because like he's fighting to the expectation of his opponent, or is he waiting like I, I mean, I know
that,
he's smart. He's got a game plan, but
yeah. That's what I think. That's what I think. I thought after watching that last fight is that he's just fighting smarter. Like I said, he's not out there. He's not trying to get the highlight reel. He doesn't really care about getting fight of the night. I don't think, my opinion.
yeah,
I think he is out there just hanging on. He wants to hold that title, so he's gonna go out there and fight smart and make the guy earn it, just like he did with Reyes. So
yeah.
if Adesanya and John fought, I mean, I think Israel's the one that's got to come in there and show up. He's got to be the one that puts in the work. So that would be interesting. It'd be super interesting.
But they're both gonna come out there and play to their other opponent into the opponent's like game, right? They're gonna be like, okay,
Mhm.
well, are you gonna come after me? Okay, then I'm gonna strike back. Like they're all like counter striking and stuff. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just like who knows, right? Who knows? I don't know. I want to see that fight. Like that's the fight to see. So, um,
Yeah.
but enough about that. You know what?
Yes.
If you guys go
Let's move
back,
on.
just don't even watch the main event. There's nothing to see there. Watch the co-main event. That is where it's
Oh my
at.
gosh. And this is where our show title comes in.
Yes, greatest
Was
fight of all
this
time.
the greatest fight, the greatest women's fight, title fight of all time? Maybe even men's fight. Like this fight right here rivaled that of Israel and Kelvin Gastelum,
Oh
which
yeah.
I thought was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. On the edge of my seat, literally the entire fight. And so was I during this fight with Weili Zhang and
Joanna,
Joanna
John
Jędrzejczyk.
Jacek. Um,
Oh my gosh.
I think it's simple enough to say that that's definitely the best women's fight of all time. I
Yes.
honestly, I don't think there's any debate there. I think everyone can agree. But I mean, overall, I would say it's got to be in the top 5. All fights all fights of all time, at least top
Yes.
5. You got to give it to that. Because there's a lot of fights out there. There's a lot of Hall of Fame fights, you know. So that fight's gonna be in the Hall of Fame someday,
Yeah, for sure. For
guaranteed.
sure. So what were
So
your expectations going into this? What were your expectations?
you know, I had heard so many good things about Whaley, and
Yep.
she was a knockout artist, and no one could really challenge her. She was strong. She had it all together, but I don't think we hadn't really ever seen her tested. I mean, she kind of just dominated Andrade, and it's like you didn't really get
Yeah,
to
so
see a
fast.
fight there, so
Nah.
that doesn't help you make any judgment. So putting her against Joanna, like that's a true test. And I know
Hmm.
Joanna. You could trust Joanna's gonna bring it. So going into the fight, I was thinking, you know what, Whaley's probably just hyped up a little bit. The UFC's trying to hype her up.
Yeah.
Joanna's gonna come back in here. Joanna might take it. And I was thinking, how awesome would it be if she did? Because then
Ah,
she would reclaim her title. And I mean, just think about that. What happened? She's the title holder now.
the underdogs.
Oh my God! What happens
Dude,
next?
I mean, obviously, we were sitting across the table from each other. It was such a par for par like fight. Like it was just one strike after the other. But anytime Joanna looked damaged, I was literally like, "No, please,
No.
no!" I was like, "Don't let it in." It was like it happened so many times throughout the fight where I thought she was gonna be out. It was like one more hit and she's done. And I was pulling so hard for Joanna. I just love watching her fight, man.
Me
And that
too.
that whole weight class is just amazing to watch. And watching the women fight is sometimes a lot more exciting than men. They just are so fast, like
Yep.
unbelievably fast. They have insane endurance. They
Yep.
can fight 5 rounds and not even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Well, that's not really true, but you know what I'm saying. And yeah, I definitely mirror what you were saying about Wei Lee. I didn't watch the Andrade fight. Number one, it was like 3 in the morning our time,
Yeah.
so that made it kind of hard. But yeah, to your point, with the first round knockout, it wasn't really sure if it was a fluke or what. Um,
Right.
so I was excited, but now obviously she's a monster.
She's the
They're
one.
they're both killers, man. Like I feel like that's the fight everyone was probably expecting. Like I didn't really see it going any other way than that.
No,
Um,
they brought it. I mean, dude, the kicks to the head, like they were seriously rocked multiple times. Each of them was like seriously rocked during that fight. It could have been a knockout, but they just kept going. It was so
yeah.
insane. And I mean, Joanna's forehead, dude. What the heck? That was
Oh my gosh,
insane. You know what? I
that poor
feel
girl.
bad. I don't want to diss her
Yeah,
right now because she's such a warrior, but
yeah.
like that's got to be so embarrassing, you know?
Yeah, isn't it weird? I mean, if you watch that one, I think the punch that set it off. I mean, I was talking to my buddy Toby at work today, which I think he's watching. What's up, Toby? Um, she absorbed a huge shot right to the forehead. I mean, there was no slide off, there was no bounce back. It was a straight shot to the forehead, and almost immediately you start to see the swelling spreading across her, and it just got so much worse.
Oh my
Um,
God. You're right.
I can't
You're right.
imagine how that feels. I always watch the in between rounds when the cut man is up there and they're pushing back that swelling from the eyes. And I can't even imagine the pain that must be. Um,
Oh,
obviously, I've never been a fighter and I've never experienced that, so I can only imagine.
dude, yeah, right there with you. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I just feel bad for her, but I mean, both of those fighters have to realize that like in defeat or victory, like they both won that night because of the performance that they put on for the crowd. Like they both got stock from the
Oh, for
UFC.
sure, for sure,
It's
man.
it's just like I mean,
Do you think they make a rematch like immediately? I mean, as soon as obviously Joanna and Wei Lee recover.
no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think if Joanna won, that they would definitely do the rematch, right? Because of how close it was. But since Wei Lee won, I think they're gonna move on. I know that Rose Namajunas turned down the title fight, and that's why Joanna fought.
Oh,
Rose
really? I didn't know
Namajunas
that.
was the one that got the first offer. I read that earlier this week, and
Interesting.
she turned it down. And Rose has a lot of underlying issues. She's got anxiety, emotional problems. So,
Yeah.
she she probably just wasn't ready for that level of, you know, of
The hype.
spotlight, that level of hype. So she's gonna
Yeah.
fight Andrade again. She lost the first time against Andrade. Whoever wins that fight is gonna be fighting Whaley. I guarantee it. And
Yeah.
I believe in my heart that Rose is gonna beat Andrade. I think last time was a fluke. It was a mistake. She was winning on the feet. Andrade just had, she had the takedowns in her advantage, but she wasn't going to be able to do anything to Rose on the ground. I think Rose takes that fight,
That
and and
slam.
and you saw what Rose did to Joanna, knocked her out twice. Knocked
Yeah.
her out twice in both fights. And
How cool would that be to see Rose rise back to the top?
dude, I'm calling it, man. I'm calling it right now. In a year from now, maybe 6 months from now. Well, depending on the coronavirus, but between 6 months to a year, damn it, it's gonna be Rose. She's gonna be at the top.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, I'm giving it all to Rose on this one. I really am.
I don't know. It'd be super interesting. I mean, back to our co-main. Whaley had 20 consecutive wins. Now it's 21. 7 of those were submissions. 10 of those were knockouts. Now she's got a decision.
Yep.
Another decision. It was such a good fight. I mean, I guess just to round it all out, I think, if you think back to the fight, you get through the third round, and that's when you start to be like, okay, here's Joanna's chance. She's been here before. She's seen
Right.
these championship rounds. Whaley's never seen these championship rounds before. And that in the fourth round, that kind of was playing out. Like Joanna started to take it. I feel like she was definitely the fresher fighter for sure. And then come the fifth round, it was like Whaley woke back up again. She turned it back on, and she just started, like I said, I think I told you probably 20 times while we're sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings watching this fight. I was like, dude, I do not envy the judges right now. This is the hardest job in the UFC and at this exact moment.
But again, I think that's why they made that decision. It's the champion, right? It was such a close fight.
Yep.
That how do you give it to either person? You kind of have to just give it to the champion, because if it was vice versa, Joanna would have won that fight.
Yep.
If Joanna was in the championship position, then they would have gave it to her, because that's just how it goes. That's the reality of it. Yeah, it sucks, but what can you do? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I want to see her fight again, and I know Whaley, she lost her first fight in her first professional MMA bout. She lost. That's why I think she's got one loss on her record right now.
Yeah.
And ever since that, it's like something must have just like snapped in her head, like the spark, right? That she's like, I'm never losing again.
Right.
And she hasn't. So that's awesome.
Good on her. Good for her, man.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh boy. So what's coming up next, man? I feel like we have so many. So I guess the big pay-per-view coming up next, we all know, Khabib Ferguson.
Yeah.
We're all super stoked about that. Which I have a funny story to tell. I wish my buddy Cody was listening to this right now. I'm not sure if he is, but I gotta tell a story about that in a minute.
Okay.
But before UFC 249, Khabib Ferguson, we have some big fight nights coming up.
Yep. Do you want me to go through these?
Let's do it.
I just, the coronavirus, right? I just want to make a point of how big that this is for the UFC. Clearly, everybody, that watches the news knows that the NBA is canceled. The hockey is canceled. Baseball is canceled. Like everything, all major sports are canceled. UFC was like, the show must go on. For some reason, I don't know why, but Dana White in his discussions with Trump has decided that they can't postpone these fights. So the show must go on, but
just gotta go.
So this
they
next
have such
fight,
a packed year though, dude. They have fights every single weekend, so like it's like if they miss one, these fighters don't ever get the chance to reschedule again. And it's not like the NFL or the NBA where these guys are getting paid a salary. Essentially, they actually have to go out and make this money. Like they train for 6-8 months, maybe longer, maybe a year for these fights. I'm not making any money during those times unless they have independent sponsorships.
Absolutely.
And they depend on those fights. So I mean, I agree with him.
That's just this really just supports the fact that they should be salaried. Honestly,
Hell yeah,
they shouldn't
definitely,
be
dude.
independent. They should be protected through the salary system. It shouldn't be independent contracting. I'm going on a tangent right now, but it's like
Hey,
this is their livelihood, and not only their livelihood, but their coach's livelihood. And the UFC is just taking all of the money and running with it. I mean, it's not really fair to the fighters. They're putting
that's what I was
so
gonna say. I was like,
much on the
you
line.
know, the UFC's pockets are deep, man.
Yeah, you got
I mean,
basketball players that make at a minimum, right? The lowest salary in NBA is like 7 million, right? So
right.
they're making 7 million, running around the court, and maybe you catch an elbow once in a while. These fighters are literally like destroying their brains and bodies.
Yeah,
Um,
for your entertainment, America.
so wouldn't you think
Um,
that they would be getting paid like everyone would just be getting paid millions of dollars? But anyway, I don't know. It's weird. All
well,
I
you have to
know,
think too. Like you have to think these guys. Not, I mean, it's not only they're just not making money during that 8, almost 12 months, whatever, however long it is, but they have to pay their coaches. They have
yeah,
to pay for the facilities they train at.
yep,
Most of them pay nutritionists. Most of them pay personal trainers.
right,
I mean, all kinds of stuff.
and
So when they get these big these big payouts for these fights, I mean, if you look at some of these fight nights, especially, I've looked at some of the payouts before, not any recently, but these guys don't make that much money. Like even like the main event in a fight night sometimes might make less than 100 grand for the fight if
yep,
they win.
yeah,
So okay, that sounds awesome, right? Sure. But you have to go back and pay all those guys for the last 8 months of training and all that stuff that you used while
right.
you were at your camp. Um, and who knows what the actual take home is? It can't be that much.
And then
You
you
know,
got
these
to
guys
think
are
about
not.
taxes, right? You got to pay
Yeah, that,
taxes. The money that you get paid, you know, 20+% is going towards taxes right off the bat.
yeah. I
And then
mean, they're
whatever you
definitely
got
not
left,
living in the lap of luxury for sure.
yeah, no,
Not all fighters are rolling around in McLarens like our boy Stylebender. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, exactly.
So until you
They,
start making that Connor money, you still gotta work. You gotta work. You know.
yeah, exactly. Which, yeah, feels bad, but I don't know. It'll work itself out once they get bigger, I think. But,
Yeah.
so back, we went on a tangent there. So UFC Fight Night 170 is in Brazil. It's tomorrow. It's for the lightweight. It's not. There's no championship on the on the line here. It's just Kevin Lee versus Charles Oliveira, right? So Kevin Lee's a
Yeah.
beast. Charles Oliveira is a beast. Really excited about this. But guess what? When you're watching that fight, if you look out into the crowd, nobody's gonna be there.
Crickets.
Gonna be crickets. It's just gonna be them. It's gonna be other fighters and all of the workers. Brazil has a limit on their gatherings right now because of the coronavirus. No more than 100 people can be in a single location at once. So it's still gonna be televised, but isn't that so crazy? We're gonna watch a fight, and like just imagine being in the ring when there's like no one
I
around.
I can't imagine.
I
That's
just feel
such a weird feeling.
it is because like sometimes people get like powered up because of the crowd, The
Yeah, can you
crowd
imagine the
will,
energy?
yeah, like there's not going to be any energy in the room. So,
Um, I just pulled up a quote actually relevant to this. I saw this on Ariel Hawani's Instagram, and if you don't know who that is, he's an ESPN analyst who focuses on UFC. Um, and he's got a quote here from Kevin Lee. He interviewed him on his show on Monday. And Kevin Lee says, "It's important that we show we're not going to stop living, even if it's in front of empty seats. That's cool with me. It honestly makes the fight bigger. It's going to be like old school martial arts days. You're just going to hear the punches and kicks, and when I hit Oliveira, the whole world is going to feel it." So
all right.
that's kind of a cool quote because I'm like picturing in my head what this is going to be like when I'm watching it, and like the sound of the gloves touching somebody's face, or the sound of the thud of somebody's shin going into a rib cage. It's
Yeah.
going to be intense, man.
But think about when's the last time that they fought for an empty room? No?
You talking about these
Probably.
guys?
Yeah, these guys like, anybody on the prelims or whatnot. Yeah, I mean, this might not be anything different for them, but for Kevin Lee and Charles Oliveira, like, they've been, well, maybe not Charles Oliveira just yet, but Kevin Lee's
Yeah.
he's been fighting for full crowds on fight nights for a while now.
He's been around
Yeah.
for sure.
So moving on then, UFC Fight Night 171's in London on March 21st. Welterweight, prior champion Tyrone Woodley fights Leon Edwards. This is really a big opportunity for Leon, I think. Show what
Yeah,
he's
and for
got.
Woodley.
I mean, no, this is a big risk. I would say this is a big risk for Woodley
You think so?
to fight somebody like he's not fighting for the belt.
Right.
Why isn't he fighting for the belt? This is his first fight after losing.
Right.
You know, why wouldn't he be fighting for the belt? It just seems a little weird. But for now, nothing's been announced. Expect a full crowd for London. I don't know. That one just seems kind of weird. Tyrone Woodley, who is literally the prior champion, is fighting on a fight night. He's fighting on a fight night.
That's what I'm saying. These fight nights are getting big, man. You know, you can't sleep on the fight nights because they're sometimes as big as the main cards or the pay-per-view events.
But don't you think that he feels a little disrespected?
I don't know. I feel like I'm interested. Who knows what goes on in the back end of things? But after watching that fight with Tyron Woodley versus Usman,
Yeah.
it was like he was asleep the whole fight. It was worse than
Thompson.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it was crazy. It's like he wasn't even there. He wasn't even awake. And some people speculated after that fight that he's got so much other stuff going on. Like he's working with TMZ right now. He's apparently got like a budding rap career right now. So maybe they're just like, dude, we're gonna get you with Leon Edwards.
Have you heard his music?
No.
It's so bad. It's so bad. A budding rap career? Yeah, no way, man.
But okay, budding as in he's trying to grow it and he's trying to make his name, I guess. I don't know.
He needs to pull out of all of those other obligations and focus.
Good at, man.
He needs to focus on fighting. That's it, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
I think I have actually watched him. I think I saw a clip of him on TMZ, and like he's not a bad TV personality. But why not keep that in the sport? Why not? Actually, he does sometimes do like the post fight shows and stuff.
Yep.
Why not just keep it in the family, man?
Just like Felder. Just do it like Felder does.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick with what you're good at. He's trying to diversify, and I don't think it's good for him. I really don't.
You know, and Leon Edwards is nothing to scoff at, man. His record's 18-3, so he's been around for a little while too. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it is kind of a risk for Woodley. Yep, yeah, it's kind of a risk for Woodley, but I guess he's just out there trying to get that money.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so then, you know, after that, you got UFC ESPN on ESPN 8. I'm sorry, UFC on ESPN number 8, and that's March 28th. And it's Francis Ngannou versus this is really hard to say. I don't know how to say his first name. Jairzinho Rozenstruik, right? So I could say Rozenstruik because they say it all the time. So this one was scheduled to be in Columbus, Ohio, my home state. Woot woot.
Nice.
And the Ohio governor this past week on Thursday restricted all public events because of the coronavirus. So everything.
Oh man.
Every public event in Ohio is like, you're not allowed to do it anymore. It's like outlawed. So they're moving them to UFC's Apex Arena in Vegas, and I'm pretty sure that's the place where they do the Contender Series. Do you know the Contender Series?
Yep.
So it's like that little arena there, right? So you're gonna see Francis Ngannou and Rozenstruik. These two like big names in the heavyweight division, these monsters. Rozenstruik's undefeated, 10-0, and I mean everybody should know who Francis Ngannou is by now. He's the Predator.
Exactly.
So it's just, I think it's gonna be kind of weird to see these guys in a very small room comparatively. It's just gonna be so weird, I think, just witnessing this. Being alive right now is an odd time.
It really is, man. And we're gonna get more into this Corona stuff soon. We've definitely talked about it on like the last 3 episodes. On every episode we've done so far, I feel like we've talked about coronavirus.
And it's just getting worse every time.
Yeah. So let's just keep this train rolling. I mean, I think we covered UFC pretty well. But before we move on, we want to know your thoughts out there, you listeners out there. If you're in the stream right now, let us know. Or if you're checking us out on YouTube, leave us a comment. I want to know your thoughts about those fights last weekend and the ones we got coming up. There's lots to be excited about in the UFC right now. There's so much excitement, so many big names, so many rising stars. So it's just a great time to watch. So let us know your thoughts.
And let me know
But,
who's gonna win, Khabib or Tony? I want to know Tony versus Khabib. Who's taking it?
That reminds me, I forgot to tell my story. My buddy Cody would be so mad if I didn't tell this on the stream.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it short, but I'm gonna say my buddy Cody, who helped me build this glorious PC beside me, along with you and Toby, actually got to go to Vegas this past weekend as part of a bachelor party and watch the Adesanya Romero fight in person. And I was so jealous, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I hate you. And he's not even that big of a UFC fan.
Oh, he's
So
so
to him,
lucky.
yeah, I don't think to him, he was like, wait, who are these guys? Me and Toby are like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
No, you don't even know who they are. That's so
yeah,
bad.
come on.
So bad.
But yeah. So we tried FaceTiming with him while he was there, and I think his internet connection wasn't good enough wherever they were at. Too many people probably trying to do the same thing. But
Yeah.
Long story short, we were talking a couple days ago at work, and he's telling me this story about how his buddy came down with the flu. So we're like, oh shoot, is this like number one? You were on a plane, you were in a conference, like a giant place with a ton of people who could probably be contagious.
Better not
and
talk
number
to him.
three, yeah, and number three, Cody, you were with this dude, and you're standing at my cubicle right now. What are you doing here?
Get away. Get away. No shit, dude. Yeah.
And so he's like, no, it's fine. He got tested and diagnosed with just like regular flu. Just regular flu. It's
just
fine.
regular. Oh yeah, no big deal.
Flu A. People die. It's fine.
Nobody cares about the flu anymore.
Yeah.
Even though it's probably worse for you than coronavirus.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, so then he starts telling me that they saw. So you remember Khabib was at the fight. They showed his face on TV or whatever. Khabib was at the fight.
Okay.
So he's telling me the story about he was in the airport, and they see this guy walk by as they're like eating at some restaurant or something, and his buddy is a big UFC fan. So he's like, is that him? And they stand up really fast, and he's like, yeah, that's Khabib. And like Khabib and his like his whole like group of people are walking past him. Yeah, his whole posse, right? And so the guy's freaking out. And then later, and they're in the airport terminal or somewhere in the airport sitting down waiting for their flight. They see Khabib again. And he's like, dude, Khabib was sitting literally probably 15 feet or less away from us right now.
What?
So, yeah. Can you believe
that? That's crazy.
I would have been like fangirling a little bit.
I would have got an autograph or something, you know?
So that's the next part. So his buddy, who later was diagnosed with the flu, went over and got a picture with Khabib.
Oh no!
Right? So they're I don't know what I haven't seen the picture, but I imagine they're close enough to each other to be in the same frame.
What if he would have just turned? Enough. What if he would have just turned and been like, "You're not winning this fight. America's gonna win today, buddy."
Yeah. He just like puts his hand on his face. He's like, "Oh, I love you." There's all those germs in there.
No, not like this.
Number one, kudos to that guy, because I would not have the cojones to walk up to Khabib. I would just be like, if this guy feels threatened at all, he's gonna like choke me out or knock me out, one of the two.
Just hit him in the gonads.
Yeah. No cup today, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, all that said,
the equalizer.
Yeah, exactly. That levels the playing field. Even though you'd probably do that to Khabib, and he would just like look you in the face, like,
be like, mother Russia, balls of steel, mother Russia. Yes, vodka courses through my veins. Yes. He doesn't drink alcohol. I forgot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway,
why?
Muslim. Well, he's Muslim.
Anyways,
he's Muslim.
Yeah. So if it comes down to it, and the fight's canceled because Khabib has the flu, I know whose fault it was.
We should all send that guy thank you cards.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't want the fight to be canceled. I want him to fight and lose.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right, let's save that for a later podcast. I feel like we could go on for that for a while.
I mean, one comment and let's move on. America versus Russia. Okay. It's that simple.
Fair enough, but are you not a fan of Khabib?
Of course I'm a fan.
Seeing his reign of dominance.
But anytime he's up against an American, America all the way.
I can get behind that. I
Yeah,
can get behind that
got a
as
little
I drink my
patriot. Little.
Mexican cerveza.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yep.
Mexico's our neighbor. Russia's not. Screw Russia.
Toby in the chat says, "How dare you, Reese? How
How
dare
dare
you?"
you? How dare I? What? You don't like America?
Toby's actually he's from Germany.
That's
He
not
does like
Russia.
America. He
That's
does
not
like
Russia.
America. Yes, but he is. But anyway, he also is a very big Khabib fan. That's why he's saying that.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Khabib's his dude.
I'm just saying.
He was probably
Patriotism.
freaking out more than I was when he heard Cody tell that story. He was probably freaking out more than me.
Oh, I bet.
I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, dude, if I went to a UFC fight, you've been to one. I haven't been to one. I'm like the one in like our circle of people that hasn't been to a UFC fight. This needs to change.
I want to go to an actual UFC event though. Like I went to a fight night.
Yeah.
You know? But they don't have them around. Like they've had two in DC in like the last 8 years, so
even still, I'd be flipping out over the commentators. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, it's John Anik,
Joe Rogan.
Can I get your autograph?
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, if Joe Rogan was there, I'd probably like flip out.
Shake my hand, please, Joe.
Yeah.
I love your podcast.
Sign my arm, please. I'll get it tattooed.
Sign my arm. Sign my tit. Dude.
That's how you get kicked out.
Yeah.
That's how you get kicked out. All right, so let's move on. Should we play some sweet transition music?
I don't know if we can get it to work, dude.
Oh shoot, I forgot audio issues. We can try. We can always try. We could just pause here. We could just pause right now for 10 seconds and I can post it in there.
It's not working. I'm trying.
Oh man. All right, we'll just make our own elevator transition music and then we can dub it in post.
Yes.
Ready, set, go.
Elevator going up. Ding.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, that was it. That was the break.
We took an ad break, sponsored by
Stone.
No one.
Coronavirus.
So, if you want to be the first sponsor for this podcast, holla at you.
Yeah, holla at your boy. Ferguson's gonna win. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh man.
Just saying.
Good times. All right, so let's talk some more about the coronavirus, Reese, shall we?
No, I'm so tired.
I know, but I just want to go through this article. I have an article. I don't think we should try to show it on the screen, but I'm going to pull it up. This is every major. We're now in the tech news event, by the way. The tech news section. There's an article from Android Authority, who actually also I do some part-time freelance writing for.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Check me out. Who lists out every single major tech event that's been canceled by the coronavirus so far. The list continues to grow. So I just want to run through these really quick because I'm just blown away by the scope of the, I guess, effects that the coronavirus is having on every single industry, not just UFC, but technology, entertainment, sports. It's ridiculous. So we already knew about Mobile World Congress was canceled. South by Southwest was canceled. GDC conference was originally still going, but now they've postponed it to the summer. NVIDIA conference canceled. There's an online event only. Adobe Summit, in-person canceled. IFA Global Press, I don't even know what that is, canceled. Some of the bigger ones on here, Facebook F8. The Facebook F8 conference is where tons of new stuff comes out for developers. A lot of VR-related stuff recently. Since they own Oculus, that's been canceled. Google I/O, which is all the way out in May 12th through the 14th, already canceled. Google I/O is where another developer conference where they talk about a bunch of software stuff, and also they introduce a ton of hardware at these events. Usually, I think I/O is where they usually announce the new Pixel devices, and all the other hardware that they come out with. Already canceled. No online event. Microsoft Build, the same thing, canceled. In-person events canceled, online only.
Hey AJ, I watched your video.
Oh shoot, really?
Yeah, can you share it with me again?
Hold please.
There we go. Sorry about that. You're back.
Okay. Anyways, where was I? Microsoft Build. So the big one that I wanted to talk about is Apple's WWDC, which is Worldwide Developers Conference. Definitely one of the biggest tech events of each year. this is where they talk about mainly developer related stuff, their software, the back end systems for developers to go ahead and start building things for and updating their apps for the new iOS releases, the new Mac OS releases, iPad OS, all that good stuff. But also historically, in the last few years, WWDC is where they have released some pretty impressive hardware. Like they don't, they don't spare any punches at these events. Last year they announced their new Mac Pro, which is a monster at this event and wildly targeted towards the pro community. And not only that, but folks usually like the press usually gets hands on with the new hardware and with the new software to be able to demonstrate this stuff on their websites, and kind of help sells all this kind of stuff. So this has been the in-person portion of this has been canceled and it's strictly online. So they've kind of teased an online only um, event, which this is taking place in June. So all the way out into June, these tech companies are feeling these effects, which is insane. So I think it's kind of cool that Apple's kind of getting ahead of the game on this one, and they're kind of almost positioning it as if they planned this to be this way anyways, which we all know is not the case.
Of
But
course not.
they're trying to be smart. Their marketing team's probably trying to just twist this a little bit and make it seem not so much reactionary to the virus, but more so being proactive on their end. But
Yep.
again, I just can't. It's hard to wrap your head around the effects of this virus.
Dude, it's insane. All of all of the cancellations just around the board. The fact that everything's getting canceled like this, I mean, it's good, but I don't know. I just it's worrisome, and there's just it's just something that I myself have never had to deal with, you know? So
Yeah,
it's just like it's a learning experience, I guess. Like I don't think a lot of people have had to deal with this, but it's just crazy to see this nightmare going on right now. Um I don't know if you wanted
yeah,
to talk about some more of the tech stuff before I
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah. Let's.
I had
Yeah,
something else to add about coronavirus, but if you want to go ahead and hit the next segment, we can hold off.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him like my dad earlier today and some other people. I'm just like, I would love to see at the end of all this, like I don't know how long this is gonna take, but 6 months down the road or whatever it is, I would love like for an economist or somebody to say, like, what was the final number? What's the economic impact of this outbreak? Like how many billions of dollars, maybe trillions, do you think was lost because of all these cancellations?
It's got to
I
be
can't even
trillions. It's got to be.
yeah, I can't even like begin to wrap my head around that.
Yeah, it's got to
One
be. I
of
mean, well, hold
Yeah, I
on.
was just saying.
Okay, go ahead. Go
Sure,
ahead. You go
sure, sure. No, you do it. You
you
do it.
go. You go. Your
Okay,
turn.
me. Okay, mine. Okay, yours.
Me,
Mine. Okay.
me,
So
you.
the Phoenix Suns, like the NBA, was one of the first like major sporting organizations or whatever to start announcing cancellations, um, and essentially the NBA canceled or called off the rest of the season. That's how I understand it. Somebody correct me if that's incorrect, but so I thought it was really cool. I saw this article. It's kind of a more of a positive twist on this whole thing, and I kind of like seeing some of these stories come to light, and it kind of helps people remove themselves from the negativity around all this stuff and kind of bring it back to the positive side.
Yeah.
The Phoenix Suns, and I don't really follow the NBA just to be super upfront with you guys. The Phoenix Suns have decided to continue their season in NBA 2K Live on Twitch.
So crazy.
How cool is this, man? So somebody, again, this is probably marketing driven, and I think it's genius. Personally, being a marketer myself, someone decided that the Phoenix Suns will play out the rest of their season as scheduled in a video game and stream it live on Twitch. So, how
So
cool is that?
do
That's
they
the coolest thing ever, man.
do they get to like do they get to win like
I
the
don't know. I
championship
haven't
or
I read into it a little bit. I read this article, but I didn't really give much details into like who actually is controlling the players. Like if it was actually the players playing as themselves
yeah.
in the game, and then let's get even crazier. Let's say the other teams were played out by the other teams,
Yeah.
right? Let's
Yeah.
just finish this thing virtually. Let's just take it to the court in the game, right? How
I
cool
don't
would that be?
but yeah, that would be so cool, but are you able to do that this day and age?
I don't know. That would be some serious. Like I don't play these basketball
I don't
sports games
either.
at all. I obviously know you can do multiplayer, but I don't know if you can actually recruit an entire team of people to play against another entire team of people.
All
That'd
at
be
the
pretty
same time?
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why couldn't you? I mean, we're about to talk about some battle royale gameplay.
Yep.
You can have 100 people on one server. Why can't you have, I don't know how many people are on each side of the court, 12, but 6 on 6. I don't know, but why can't you have that number of people playing against each other?
I
Seems like it'd
agree.
be possible.
It's got to be possible.
So
It's got to be
I would love
possible.
to
They're going to
see,
make it.
will the NBA buy into this? Will they make this a big thing? I'm kind of excited to see it. So,
This is a good point, though. I do want to add real quick. This is a great opportunity for esports to
oh, for sure,
to
man.
come in and own the market. Esports is on ESPN now. Don't forget, they have
Yeah,
commentators.
yeah.
They talk about this stuff. Dude, esports, the League of Legends Championship had more spectators than the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, dude,
Whoa.
watch out. Esports, this is it,
Whoa.
man. This is the transition period. You're going to start seeing esports is going to take over. Everyone's going to be like, oh, what do I want to watch? Oh, Joe Schmo that's in his 50s right now, he's going to be like, oh, I got nothing to watch. He's going to watch some esports.
Yeah.
He's done. He's done. Next thing you know, he's buying a $2,000 computer. He's playing all the video games. You'll never see him go to a football game again. He's going to throw away his Browns jersey.
You should do that anyways. Let's just go ahead and do that part.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh wait, you're a Browns fan. You're from Ohio. Are you a Browns fan?
Yeah. Don't talk to me.
Okay. By default. All right.
Next year.
Next year. There's always next year.
Yeah. We're doing better. We're doing better than we did the past
you're
7
doing
years.
better. You are. I'm pulling for you guys.
Thanks.
But yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. I think esports, this is their shot. This is their shot. I mean, I don't know. I think the NBA thing could be kind of the gateway drug, I guess, for people who have never watched esports before. Like if I'm an NBA fan and I've never watched Twitch, I've never seen anybody stream a game or whatever, but I've tuned in for this reason, you could get suckered into some other content, and you know what? You might eventually end up watching the Beard, Mr. Fix-It stream, playing some Warframe.
Who knows? Anything's possible. I think that's a great idea, actually.
I think you should do that, people out there.
I have to support this idea.
So moving on from that, talking about some video games, talking about some streaming. I did want to talk about Call of Duty Warzone was released this past week. I know you're not a big Call of Duty guy, but you have played Fortnite, you have played Apex Legends, so you're familiar with the Battle Royale concept, obviously.
Yeah.
And a lot of people out there, the Battle Royale thing took the world by storm, and obviously Fortnite being the number one game, I think, for a long time. I think it's not anymore. I think Minecraft is now the number one, if I remember correctly.
Minecraft? No way.
I'm pretty sure, man. I think I looked it up one day, but we could fact check that.
Wait, number one game being played or number one games being streamed?
Played. I think.
Minecraft? Really?
Let's look it up. Can you pull that up?
I'm so surprised.
Let's pull it up. What is the? We have the technology for this.
What is the most played video game today? Rocket League? That's not right. Can't be that.
Hold please.
One momento.
Well, whatever this article I'm looking at is in 2019, June of 2019. It was Fortnite, then PUBG, League of Legends. Okay.
Yeah, it says Minecraft at the one I'm looking at. So here's a quick recap. What?
So it probably depends on the day.
Well, no, this one says here's a quick recap of the 20 most popular video games right now. Minecraft, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto, Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six Siege. You know what, dude? I don't know. Like, the fact that League of Legends and World of Warcraft aren't on this list, or League of Legends is number 10 on this list.
Oh, wow.
What are they basing their information on?
Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to see some more stats from an actual, like, resourceful company.
From a smart person.
An
educated person.
Somebody that's put because Matt McIntyre, this is his article. This is his, who knows? Anyways.
What I was getting at is that battle royales have grown immensely in popularity, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. Call of Duty, obviously, Activision had to get on the train, or else they were gonna suffer from that. So they already released Blackout, which was from Black Ops 4. But with Modern Warfare, the newest Call of Duty, they literally just now released this week, I think this past week, Warzone, which is their new battle royale. There's a few cool things. I haven't played this yet myself personally, but I was reading about it today, and it actually really intrigued me to play it. And I think you and I maybe should jump in on this. And I saw Toby comment in the chat. We should all get together and play this.
Is this Modern Warfare 2?
This is modern. It's just called Modern Warfare. It's like the reboot, I guess, if you want to call it. This is the game that came out. I think it came out last year, but
why don't I see it? I see Modern War. I'm looking on Steam right now. I see Modern Warfare 2, and then Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 3. Is that it? Or no,
that's old.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
You have to download it from Activision, I'm pretty sure.
This is so confusing. This is why they shouldn't use the same names.
I know, man.
Modern
Terrible
Warfare
branding.
2, 3, 4, and then they just came out with Modern Warfare. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Does not compute.
Does not compute. Yeah, me. I'm a branding guy, man. It doesn't make any sense. I think you have to download it from Activision. That's probably why you're not seeing it. So if you have like the Activision store or whatever,
it's on Blizzard.
Blizzard, whatever. You have to you can get it from there. But the cool thing is you don't have to buy the full game. You can buy just Warzone, just like you can do Fortnite totally free. You can play Warzone totally free. You don't have to have the main $60 game, which is amazing.
Okay.
That's the number one big thing that I wanted to talk about, which I think would really help, increase. Number one, it will probably increase the sales of Modern Warfare because people are going to get into that Warzone and they're going to want to get into that real game as well. So that'll be interesting.
All right.
But not only that, I got to tell you, I think I've told you this before, and I've told tons of people that I play video games with before. I've come to hate / despise battle royales because I have limited time to play video games. I play on the weekends at night when my family's asleep. Yep. And it's like in total probably 6 hours a weekend, something like that.
Right.
So the fact that battle royales require me to spawn into a map, look for equipment for 15 minutes, and then probably get killed after I see the first person.
Yeah.
And then have to do it all over again. I'm like, it's a giant waste of my time.
It's not fun. That's why I don't play them anymore.
It's not fun at all.
Yeah. I don't play them anymore.
It's a giant waste of time. But I got some good news for you, Reese.
Okay.
Got some good news for you.
Let me hear it.
Call of Duty Warzone has tons of options to help you get back into the game, so you don't just die on the first thing. Like you die, but they have this thing called the Gulag, which basically, I know you haven't played Modern Warfare yet, but essentially you spawn into the Gulag after you've died on the full map.
Yeah.
And you're pitted up against another player who just died. So it's a one-on-one little match. You both spawn in with limited loadout, right? So you might have like a pistol, maybe a few rounds of shotgun ammo, something like that, in a tiny little map, and you have to fight it out. And so whoever wins that little battle gets spawned back into the map.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh man, that's so exciting. Can you imagine how intense that probably is? Especially if you're like towards the end of the game. You're like down, you start with 150 players. It's even more than Fortnite.
Right.
And can you imagine if you're down to like the top 10 or something, you get killed, and that's your chance to get back into the game and finish it out. Like that's probably extremely intense.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I can tell you that game mode itself in the full Modern Warfare, which right now I'm having a hard time thinking of the actual game mode, but it's intense on its own. So that's really interesting. And then outside of that, there's options, more revive options that can be purchased around the map, so you're not out of the game immediately when you die as well. So it sounds like there's like little crates or something around the map that when your health is low or if somebody on your team gets killed, there's things you can buy with in-game currency that you don't have to pay money for. You earn this currency in the game, it sounds like. You can purchase that to get people back. They've made it harder for you to die. Like on Fortnite, you get sniped from across the map and you're done for. Your health regenerates automatically, and your armor is like super easy to find. So it makes it harder for people to kill you, number one, so you stay alive longer. It makes the battles more intense. And then finally, there's random supply drops that deploy throughout the map that allow you to get your gear from your custom loadouts in the full Modern Warfare game. So if you've spent a ton of time purchasing or unlocking camos and attachments for your guns in the full game, you can actually use those in Warzone by collecting some of those crates. So all that combined makes it sound to me like I'm actually excited and interested to try to jump in there and see what it's all about, because it doesn't feel like I'm just going to get in there and die and have to do the endless loop all over again.
Okay.
So
yeah,
we should check it out, man.
well, if I could get a copy of the game, I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, I don't know. I bought Black Ops 4, right? And I spent the $60 on it, and I probably played it for about 5 hours. So it's gonna be a tough pill to swallow for me to do that again.
That's what I said. You don't have to buy it. You can just do Warzone by itself.
How much is it?
It's free.
Warzone's free?
Warzone's free. Did I not use the free word?
Did I miss you saying?
I think I said, you know what? I think I said purchase as a standalone. That was stupid of me.
Yeah, you said purchase as a standalone. If it's free,
it's this many dollars.
You should have started with that. You should have led with it's free 55 with a free 55 discount.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Free.
I failed you.
Free for free. Free.
Yep. So we should try it.
All right, count me in. You say free to me.
Oh, okay.
You say free to me. Count me in. I'm in.
Yes.
Game over. We could. I'll download it tonight. I don't even care. We'll do it. I can uninstall Red Dead Redemption 2, which is just taking up all the space on my computer.
You haven't played that in a while, have you?
Well, yeah, because I've just been playing Warframe. It's like I don't know. Somebody bought it for me, and
that's true.
I should have just given it back to them, honestly, because I wanted to try it, and it just ended up being a bust. But anyway, good news. Corona vaccine. Did you hear about this?
No. Enlighten me.
All right. Well, first off, let me just preface that.
Does it look like this?
It does.
Is this the Corona vaccine?
But it comes in a giant needle. That's about the size of that bottle right there. They just jam it down your throat. That sounds. No, not like this. So this whole pandemic is expected to go on for probably 3 to 6 months, right? So,
freaking hope not, man.
Well, that's what the expectation is
I know.
Expect 3 to 6 months before anything good happens, right? So everybody quarantine themselves, stay out of the way. The main goal here is for less people to get sick so that the hospitals aren't overwhelmed. Try not to get sick so that you don't have to go to the hospital, because if everybody's sick, the hospital's not going to be able to treat anyone. So you're going to get what is going on in Italy right now, which I don't know if you've heard, but Italy's hospitals are so packed that the doctors have to decide who to let live and who to let die. Isn't that insane?
Oh, it's so rough, dude.
Yeah. All right.
I've heard that, and that's so sad.
It really is. All right. So vaccine, right? So Medicago is the company that created the vaccine for SARS. They did it within 20 days of receiving the SARS gene. They also came out with the where is it? I'm sorry, I'm not an expert on this, so I have to read some of this stuff. They also did some work with DARPA to get the H1N1 vaccine in 19 days, right? They were able to once basically if they get a sample, they're able to come up with the vaccine within 20 days because they have this insane artificial intelligence algorithm that they put all of this information into, and it just figures it out for them. So they've done this, right? They've done this before, and they're doing it now. So the big problem now is getting it approved for human testing, and then mass producing it and getting it out to the public. So the problem is getting the FDA to sign off on it. And typically, it takes the FDA anywhere from 6 to 18 months to get something through. Trump is supposed to be putting a executive order on this to push it through immediately. So the expectation right now is human trials can happen as soon as July. So everybody, fingers crossed, right? July's still 4 months from now.
That's not very soon.
It's not, but it's something.
It's sooner than not, but I guess
the first way to combat this is everybody just go to their houses, don't go outside, don't breathe each other's air. Eventually it's just going to die out. The people that get it, wish them the best and hope that they make it through. Otherwise, we all just kind of have to stay away from each other for a while, and that's the way that this is going to happen. Like, everybody can work from home. We have the technology. The only things that you can't do that are essential: food and water, electricity and sewage, right?
And toilet paper.
Don't forget about toilet paper. And probably trash. Like your essentials, right? Your utilities. Those are essentials. You need those. You need food, you need water. So, the expectation is if it gets bad enough and they shut everybody in, they say nobody's allowed to leave their house, then you would assume that people can kind of there will be a government enacted way for people to get food or whatnot. But let's hope it doesn't get to that. Let's hope we can all go back to work in a month. So I just wanted to give you guys some hope, right? There's a vaccine. It's been discovered.
It's coming.
They've tested it on animals, but they haven't tested it on humans yet. But their track record has been successful. So, now,
do you know something hilarious?
Yeah.
Someone at work told me today that their mom heard that if you have alcohol in your system, you can't get the coronavirus.
We're good, dude.
Oh, man.
You better drink some more of that Corona. Oh, real quick. This just popped in my head. Go look up The Simpsons coronavirus, like 1996.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Predictions. The Simpsons predictions. They predicted the Tom Hanks quarantine.
No way.
They predicted the coronavirus.
Oh, and by the way, I was so bummed out to hear about Tom Hanks. I literally was no, not Tom Hanks. Like, he's like the world's only good person.
I know, right? Oh, jeez.
The most innocent man alive.
So they predicted the coronavirus. Like, it was a long time ago, and it was
1993.
And it was a factory in China that was producing Corona.
Oh my gosh.
Like Corona beer. And then they started calling it the coronavirus. Tell me, how insane?
Weird.
How insane is that? Think about all the stuff that The Simpsons has predicted. Like, isn't that weird?
That is super weird. I'm like reading this article about it right now.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, dude. I was like, no way. No way.
Say? Simpsons did it.
Yep, Simpsons did it. All right, so moving on from that, I do want to talk about stocks a little bit, right? Everybody's probably got 401ks or some type of retirement fund, and oh god, it just hurts so bad. If you've looked at your 401k and you didn't cry just a little bit, then you're probably a psychopath, because this hurts my feelings. It really does. Yeah, so but today was a good day. I don't know if you saw the closing today, but the Dow, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq were all up 10% day over day.
Super honest with you, I don't follow stocks at all.
That's fine. I'm just giving you guys a quick.
I know what up and down means, though, and I can look at this chart and say that's not good.
You could say that's not good, but day over day, if you look at today's change, for some reason, end of day Friday, everybody put their money back in. So we're back up 10%. Now, that doesn't account for the fact that for the Dow Jones, we're down 18% year to date. That's pretty bad. For the Nasdaq, we're down 12% year to date. And for S&P 500, we're down 16%. Now, just think about that. That's like what's driving our economy. our economy is down 15%. That's
Yep.
pretty bad. It's probably going to go down some more next week.
Yep.
And it's going to feather out. It's going to plateau, and then you're going to start seeing it go back up. So there's hope in sight, folks.
Interestingly enough, I was talking to my dad because my family's in town this weekend. My son's 4th birthday is this weekend, so I got a lot of family in town. And I was talking to him earlier, and we were kind of talking about this. And one of the things he mentioned, which I thought was an incredibly smart idea, which I'm fortunately we don't have thousands and thousands of viewers yet.
Yeah, I know.
Secret away. But he was like, it'd be a smart time to invest in like work from home utilities and like video conferencing companies and all these project management softwares and even esports and
virtual reality.
Dude, people are gonna be locked in their houses. They're gonna be spending all their time on their computers. They have to find suitable replacements for in-office productivity, so they're gonna be looking to different tools. Companies are gonna be investing money into all this stuff to keep their people productive and making money. So
VPN servers.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that people are going to rely on and need in the next. I mean, if we're working from home for the next 6 weeks or something crazy, like imagine the money that people are going to have to spend. Companies are going to have to spend.
To
invest in this kind of information.
I'm telling you,
in kind of tools.
After this, you're going to see more companies that are going to start shifting over to this remote work style because they're going to see that either efficiency is going to increase, they're going to decrease costs. Think about it. Why would you pay to have, building rent, right? You got to pay like thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to rent out a building, where if you're an accounting business or tech business, like IoT business, you really only have to have you have to have a small space just for your firmware and hardware guys. Everyone else, and if you're in finance and accounting, you don't have to be in the office. If you're in sales, you don't have to be in the office. You could go on site to go talk to people. You could do video conferencing. You know what? It's just it's an archaic lifestyle that it's going to change. Before long, it's not going to be a whole lot of face-to-face interaction unless you're going to the store to buy your food. And even then, Amazon's just going to be flying it in with a drone. You know what?
I can't wait until. I mean, you're in an area that's more prone to that kind of stuff than I am. I cannot wait to go to an Amazon Go store. I think that's what they're called. But the stores the grocery stores you can walk into and just pick stuff up off the shelf, put it in your basket, and you just walk out of the store and never have to go through a register again.
Haven't they demoed? Aren't they? They're open in the UK, right?
I know they've got one in like the Bay Area, San Francisco. I think there's a couple across the United States.
Gotcha.
Some of the more like tech hubs.
You would have to have like a, I don't know how it works, but I feel like
it's machine learning.
You would have to have like a badge, like a certain badge to get in, and because like anybody could just walk in and like just fill up their cart and run out,
I think you scan. I remember. I mean, it's been a couple of years since they first announced this, but I think you scan something on your way in, and then there's like hundreds of cameras throughout the store that are watching you with like computer vision and basically see what you pick up.
Okay.
And put in your bag. I feel like there's probably an easier way they could have done that. I'm not the guy that would invent this kind of stuff, obviously. So I don't know what I'm talking about. But it feels like some NFC tags or something would be a little bit more efficient than like computers with or cameras using computer vision to detect things like that. But
because like, what if you run in there and you're wearing like like one of those like 80s tracksuits that were just like they were like mirrors, right? They were like
reflective.
Yeah, super reflective. Like you just run in. just
walk in there like a boss and you're just sparkling everywhere.
Or yeah, like like you have one of those on and then you like wrap yourself with like Christmas tree lights. Just like
you just run really fast to the store, you're just swiping stuff into your basket like good luck, Amazon.
You'll never catch me.
That has to have happened by now. And you just see this one random dude, like he's just seeing how fast he can run through there and like run through the gate, and he's just to his car, and it's like, the hell is wrong with that guy?
You just see him like walking up to it too. Like he's like walking up to like, let's go. We're gonna do this. Hold on, let me plug in real quick. Yeah, we're plugged in. Let's go.
Yeah. Or you could use. You ever heard of Vanta Black?
No, what's that?
Vanta Black is the blackest material on
Oh,
Earth.
got it.
It's like I think it was like some scientist or artist or somebody created this material that's like it's so like you can't see it physically with your eye because it absorbs all light.
Yep.
You know, like black is black because it absorbs light. It doesn't reflect light, so it looks black.
Yeah.
But this Vanta Black, if you cover yourself in Vanta Black, like you're in a dark room, you can't see that person at all.
Oh, dude, that's so scary.
Yeah, it's super weird, man.
Think
So what if
about
you just like
that.
kind of Vanta Black cloak and you? I wonder if that would trick the cameras.
You'd be like the Invisible Man. I would only go out at night.
Oh yeah. Oh, how creepy would that be?
I would only
They,
go
they
out at night, dude.
they have cars that are painted Vanta Black. I wonder if I can find a picture.
That should be illegal.
You would think Vanta Black car.
Vanta
I mean,
Black
the
BMW.
the picture doesn't really do it justice.
Right.
It just looks like a matte black car. So
But you
kinda
don't
really
see
hard.
but you don't see any reflections or anything, right? So that counts for something. Here, I got a video. Oh, no. It actually does look kind of cool. Here, hold on. Let me
Yeah, it's probably better in video. I think they've used it in movies for like special effects before, like to give off the illusion of like a big hole in the ground and things like
Yeah.
that.
Do you see it? You could
Like,
tell it's like extra black.
yeah, like if that car was if it was dark outside,
You wouldn't be able to really see it.
to me right now it just looks like a really black car, but people are like walking around it with like neon vests, like, "Hey guys, just a car here.
Hey,
Just a
just
car.
making sure you don't
Car.
miss the car.
We got the blinking lights on. We
But
got
like
the
look
shiny
at
lights."
it. Look at it like right here, right? Like it just looks really weird.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe you should pull a video of just like Vanta Black demonstration or something like that.
here, let me
Instead
do
of
that
just,
then. The darkest material on Earth. I'm just gonna skip through this, right? Yeah.
and my videos lagged a little bit since I'm watching the stream. Oh yeah. See, oh yeah, there's no depth. You can't see any depth at all because
I'm gonna go back. You can see his face here. Oh wow. Oh, let me do that again.
so maybe we should paint a word picture right now. If you guys are listening in your cars, there's a mask that's looks like it's been molded to fit someone's face and has been painted Vanta Black. And as it turns, it's rotating on a some sort of pedestal right now. And as it's at an angle, you can see the definition of the nose, the lips, the beard, and all that sort of stuff. But as it becomes parallel with your face, your eyes, as you're looking at it, all the definition of the face disappears because you cannot distinguish any edge on the mask.
This is a good example right here too. It's showing a couple discs and they're painted different types of black, and it's shining a light on them just to show you
The light.
it's not being reflected at all. Anyway, that's Vanta Black. That's some pretty cool stuff, man. I gotta say,
Some crazy
I'm gonna
science.
I'm gonna get a bodysuit of that.
We will win. We will trick this Amazon Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a bodysuit of that.
What were we talking about?
I don't even
I don't know how we
know.
got here. I don't know how we got here.
I'm not sure either. Stock market,
Grocery deliveries.
Vanta Black.
We kind of just kind of went off the rails.
Who knows? But it was fun. I liked it. I had a good time.
Yeah, I definitely I do. I think I had a good time as well. So,
It's Happy Friday the 13th, by the way.
yeah, it is Friday the 13th. I was gonna talk about some superstitions and things like that, but maybe we'll save that for a different night. I feel like this is a good place to kind of wrap it up. What do you think?
I think so. Shout out to everybody out there lurking, viewing. I appreciate you guys. Anybody that's checking us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're finding us, we appreciate you guys. If you've made it this far, we love you. We're really trying out here. We're trying to make some changes in our lives. We're trying to make some entertaining stuff for you all. So if you guys have any feedback for us, leave it in the comments. Whatever platform you're watching, just leave it in the comments. Let us know.
Put it right here in this section.
Down there.
Down this section.
Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, tell us, what did we do right? What did you like? What did you not like? Just help us out.
If it's our faces, we can't change them. I'm sorry.
Plastic surgery.
If you want us to black our whole face.
If you want us to change our faces, then you must donate. Just completely sell out.
Yes.
No.
If you subscribe, our face changes.
Yes. If you subscribe, instant face changes built into the subscription. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just like that. All of it? No, no. All right, we're gonna wrap up though. So
yeah, let's wrap it up. So
cheers.
like we said, thank you guys all for tuning in. Toby, I see you. Said you guys rock. Love the podcast. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I know you're saying that because you're our friends, but we hope you guys did enjoy it. And said check us out on all the socials. And until next time, and the name of the game is continue to improve. And so check us out next week. We're trying to get better, by the way, about weekly recordings. March is a crazy month. My wife's birthday, my father-in-law's birthday, my son's birthday. So many birthdays. So all right, Reese, it's been real, man. This has been a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next week on the Ginger and the Beard podcast.
Yes. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.
Goodbye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.